look a bit like Bruce Lee. He's going, no, I don't know. See this moustache?
It's a bit wonky.
Well, it's just take my word for it. I'm not Bruce Lee, all right? Well, all that stuff you did when you were punching us and kicking us and chopping, yes, but Cohen, I'm not.
It does look a bit like the stuff in my film, in his films.
In his films, yeah.
But it's not.
It does
it's
not.
just coincidence.
No, yeah.
The thing is, though, I'm not sounding bad here, I'm not trying to offend anyone, but they do all look
Right!
They
Okay.
do all look.
No.
No, you know, we're having a serious chat.
Right.
I'm not here to upset anyone.
Right.
And what I'm saying is, over here,
I'm so sorry.
no, I'm not. Yeah, but you know me, I'm not out to upset
Right.
anyone.
Right.
You're not a racialist.
No.
What do you mean? Are you saying Oriental people
saying is-
all look alike?
Well, look at the people over here, right?
Yeah.
With like you've got
No.
ginger
This-
people. You've got people with black hair, you've got people who are fat, people who are thin, but they're all so sort of fit, which isn't a bad thing. They all do that sort of thing in the park. They're all fit. It's a place where black hair. I mean, when they come here, they take pictures of people with ginger hair, don't they? Because they don't get them over there. That's what I'm saying. Calm down.
So you're saying that Bruce Lee, the most famous Chinese movie star of all
They
time,
can't tell them apart.
other triad members would. How are they? I mean, how are they going about the business at all? I mean,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, how
tell
would they even realise
yeah,
that was the guy?
What do they have to do? Wear numbers in, because there's a billion
No, but
of them.
when you know them, then you know.
So what? Oh, I see. They can tell each other apart, can they? Well, they've got signals. This is amazing, isn't
That's
it?
how you got away with it.
Simon, which one are you? Just raise your hand, Simon. Yep. Chang, which one's Chang? Chang, good. Yeah.
Oh, it must be murder, mustn't it? Just people going into the wrong houses all the time, getting off with their mates' wives. Yeah,
It's a nightmare.
it must be a nightmare.
Karl,
Please don't complain. He doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm really sorry to anyone that's he honestly does not know what he's saying. XFM 104.9.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
Go on.
I don't think I am offending anyone.
Okay, fine. That's all right then.
And you know that I wouldn't want to do that.
No, I know you don't.
Before
Oh no.
swore
Oh,
on
I
the
know.
radio, I said, right, if you've got kids in the car, turn your radio down.
So before you make any potentially racist remarks, just point out if you are listening and you might be Oriental.
Yeah.
Please don't take offence.
Or go. Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go on then, so what
Karl, play a record. Ricky's having a heart. Attack. We'll come back.
The music of tomorrow is here.
XFM.
Well, the music of tomorrow is here.
That's true enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
XFM
Must have been some sort of muck up with the post.
Rick, a lot of the times when I've played Hip Hop Hooray, my hip hop track of the week,
Yeah.
you've sort of scoffed, you've thought that maybe I don't have credibility amongst the hip hop fraternity.
No, it's just the way you dance.
Well,
It's merely the way you dance that worries me.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
people can't see it, really. And it's sort of like... Imagine if Mr. Bean thought he was in D12. You know what I mean? It's that sort of... And I don't diss you. I mean, I know you're a hip-hop appreciator. You know,
I wouldn't expect you to diss me. On the Black Queen. But the point is, now I told you in the past,
Not
you know,
videotape, is it?
not at all, not at all. Actually,
Oh.
Karl, just play it, just play it.
Yo, 1 2 1 2. We are the Dilated Peoples, chilling on Hip Hop Parade.
That's right.
With Steve Merchant, y'all. XFM 104.9. LA to London, dilated people expanding them.
All day. Now,
Who got
how
that?
about
You
that?
did that, Carl.
No, it was just when I was hanging out with my homies.
No, did it? Did they come in the week?
They were in the week, I think, and somebody got them to do it for them.
You know, no, that was when I was just hanging in the crib with them. Yeah, no. I was
That's
just hanging
very-
with them,
that's very nice of
and
them.
the guys just laid down some beats for me.
Yeah.
You know, just laid down some vocals, and I gave them max respect for it. You know, and the place was mad deep with girls at the time.
I assume you're going to play Dilated Peoples this week then.
Well, maybe.
Yeah,
Let's play it, Carl.
that's very good.
Merchant, y'all, XFM 104.9. LA to London, dilated expanding.
Respect, guys. Cheers very much. Out of here. Yeah, guys, just maxing there. Lovely. Good to hear from them. Well, I'll probably be heading over to LA, NYPD, and just you know, chilling with them.
I'd love them to meet you.
You're having a laugh.
I'd love them to meet you.
We would hang out. I know all the giants.
It's like a thing they do on MTV or X, like being Dilated Peoples, and
Yeah.
they come in, they make us three look
Yeah,
like
look
a
like
rap
Dilated Peoples.
group. Wouldn't that be great?
Listen, I told you before. I've always remembered the words of Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah,
Bitch is a bitch and a hoe's a hoe, but if a man be acting like a bitch, he's a bitch ass homie. All
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Those are the words from the
Sure.
street.
I would. It'd be like you two had won a competition or something. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
I just don't think you can believe it that I'd just be hanging out, you know, with
Sort of
them
like
in the crib.
People of courage, and you get a chance to meet your favourite. It'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Listen, we were talking earlier about the fact that Bruce Lee, and it's a well-known fact,
Yeah.
he faked his own death so he could continue his undercover police work, as opposed to being the
Because
biggest
no one would.
superstar.
You know, he doesn't
No one
look
would
different
spot
to anyone else.
But I was talking to someone as well recently who utterly convinced, and you get this quite a lot, don't you, especially Americans, that Elvis Presley's still alive.
Yeah.
And I think, wasn't there some statistic, like more people believed Elvis was alive than believed evolution? Was that right?
Yes.
Something like that?
No. No, it's something worse than that. It could be something.
It was something like that. It's something
mad,
like, I
isn't
don't know,
it?
it's something like 42% of Americans
Yeah.
believe that Elvis Presley has faked his own death and is still
Yeah.
alive, right?
Yeah.
And there's this whole book that's been written about it, because, Carl, you might be interested in this. I know you're always fascinated by things that have been written down and therefore a gospel.
Yeah.
And
And that you don't have to
apparently-
revise yourself. You just learn off
Exactly.
Ian Wright. Yeah.
But apparently, the reason that Elvis is still alive is that there's a number of sort of pieces of evidence. One is that none of his family could agree which colour pyjamas he was wearing when he died. That's
Yeah.
evidence, apparently. Apparently, you know, he was an honorary member of the FBI. Well, apparently his signature appears on FBI documents well into the 80s, long after he should have died. Apparently no one can agree. There was sums of money that only...
a lot of fat people in dungarees have seen him.
Yeah. There's a number of sums of money which apparently only he could have given authority to have transferred to other bank accounts. They've moved.
Yeah.
So this is all evidence that Elvis is still alive. And a lot of people, and I was talking to this guy, and he was saying, yeah, well, of course, the thing is, the pressures of fame were too much for him, that he faked his own death so that he no longer had to be this huge icon. You know, he could live an ordinary life. And my query has always been this: if Elvis faked his own death, do you think the method he'd have chosen is to have shat himself to death whilst on the toilet?
Yeah.
Yeah, but because he picked that, nobody will doubt it.
Right. So Elvis went to the FBI.
Yeah.
What do you make
Yeah.
of it?
Well, exactly. So what we're saying, Carl, is that there was lots of methods open to him. You know what I mean? It's all like, he didn't go to his secret police and go, "Oh, I'm fed up. I want to fake my own death." You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
go, "Yeah, that's
Yeah. And what methods have you got?
I like to be found shit myself down the toilet.
You like to do what?
I want to be a big fat mother. I'm
Yeah.
the toilet just shit myself to death.
Right,
Myself on my ankles.
Elvis is a good idea. I'm just wondering if there's maybe something a little bit more glamorous for your favourite death. I mean, you could take a bullet for the president.
What, and shit all over him? Just shit
No,
myself?
no crap at all.
That'd be what you're doing.
No, you just
There has to be.
take a bullet for him,
Uh-huh,
or you
there has
could.
to be. There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be?
There has to be shit involved.
Why has it got to be crap?
I want this way. Make it happen. Yeah, it's probably Carl, head in hand, look. Yeah, he's worried about the things we say.
Yeah,
Jeez.
we haven't offended 1.2 billion people.
Yeah, a fifth of the planet.
So, Karl, what do you make of it then? Are you
Like I
convinced
say,
Elvis is still alive?
am I getting him mixed up with someone else?
Because all Elvis,
No.
all Elvises look alike.
Because
Now that is true. A lot of Elvises do look alike. That's safe.
on his gravestone,
Yeah.
didn't they get his name wrong, or is that his brother?
Who's his brother?
Aaron.
That's his middle name.
Yeah.
You're not an Elvis kind of expert, are you?
Hold on, wasn't Elvis one of a twin that
Yeah,
died?
that died, and I'm sure he got his name on the gravestone. Oh, I don't know.
But that's consequently that's proof he's still alive.
No, the thing with the still alive thing, like I say, he picked that awkward death because nobody would be saying, hang on a minute, going round upsetting the family, wanting to talk about it because they'd be embarrassed to be saying, he was found sort of in a pile of mess.
Weighing 25 stone.
Yeah. So.
Because you notice he also expanded to a huge size as well, so he was just a huge fat blob of a man. He also did that to add, extra.
To the glamour.
I don't quite understand these people who fake the deaths because.
Well, a lot of them don't. A lot of them don't, Karl. This is what, in a roundabout way, we're saying. We're saying that a lot of people that say people fake that they didn't, like Bruce Lee. They were called Gremlins. Yeah.
Yeah,
He was. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. I know. To be fair.
But my girlfriend won't be listening now, so she'll still think I'm a bit daft.
Why would she ever think that? How long have you been going out with her?
About 8 years.
Well then, why would she ever think you're daft? That's the only stupid thing you've ever said, the Mogwai thing. Why would she ever think she's going out with a, to be honest, a retard?
I think it's a very beautiful relationship you must have, because it's odd. I mean, she's a professional journalist or whatever.
Yeah.
And she works for, is it Radio 5 or something?
BBC Sport.
BBC Sport.
TV.
And you're a man who never even got
her
your exam
English
results.
quite good. Is English quite good? Her?
Really good.
Yeah.
So.
And did she do her exams?
Yeah, she's quite bright.
Sure. So what do you bring to the relationship?
I think take the pressure off her.
Take the pressure off her to do what?
Like when she's had a stressful day and she comes home and talks to me, I think.
Yeah.
You would relax me, and that's the truth. I honestly, but Karl, he can just go, wow, it's all right. Do you know what I mean? He don't get stressed. He sits in his little booth now. He doesn't talk to anyone. His little sound booth all the week, and you're in your own little world, aren't you?
Well, it's interesting because I wonder sometimes what your aspirations are. I was thinking this. I was watching a repeat of Family Fortunes on Challenge TV last night, and it was sort of mid-80s one. And I don't know if it's still the case, but it was the aspirations of the contestants were so kind of. It was like, and what's your hobby? Well, like to go out when it's nice weather and stay in when it's not.
If you win £2,000, you'd probably be going out when it's nice, can't you? Yeah.
And she was like, well, and I sometimes like to watch TV. And I was thinking, wow, man, you've really got some incredible dreams. It's just like that. You're just waiting to die, aren't you? That's
what
all
I feel sorry for, right? Two things. In like Stars in Their Eyes, and you get a little fella, and he's gutting fish in some sort of factory in Bolton, and he comes on, and he does, something like Bobby Darin, okay, and Matthew Kelly comes out after and goes, well, I don't think you'll be going back to the fish factory. You will.
You will be going back.
You will.
Straight back,
yeah,
mate.
Yeah.
Let's think of all the Stars in Their Eyes stars.
Don't wind him up, Kelly, because that's a nasty thing to do.
I'm trying to think of all the Stars in Their Eyes contestants that have gone on to great things.
What happened to that little fella that looked like the little Alsatian puppy that did Christa Burr? He looks a bit like Christa Burr. He looked like he had problems.
Well, now what was it? Is Ian Moore his name was? He
was.
Well, it's interesting. My friend bought me as an ironic gift for my birthday. He bought me the live video of Ian Moore. You'll be pleased to know that Lady in Red was on there, among a number of other hits. But it was brilliant. It was called. It had a picture of Ian on the front. It said Ian Moore, naturally.
I didn't know it was too big for him as well.
Of course. It was ludicrous, but I don't know if that meant Ian Moore, naturally, like we all know who this guy is, it's Ian Moore.
Yeah.
Or was it Ian Moore, he's no longer being Christa Burr, he's just natural.
What did he sound like when he wasn't being Christa Burr?
Christa Burr.
Did he really? Because he met him, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, I think Christa Burr couldn't wait to get back on the telly.
Well, the thing is, I think Ian Moore is actually earning more than Christa Burr now. I think
they could have got Christa Burr on there.
Yeah,
as a contestant.
You can get Christa Burr for £1,000, but Ian Moore's going up for £1,200 now, just a PA to a DAT. But he does Lady Made. He does all the hits. He does Don't Pay the Ferryman.
Yeah.
Don't even set a price. There's all those.
Interestingly, I saw him interviewed once, and Lady in Red's not his favourite song.
You're joking.
It's bizarre, isn't it?
But he was only going to play that if it was the fat ginger Sarah Ferguson.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was only if she was wearing some red.
He was only going to play that when?
Well, it was a live thing, and he was only going to play that if she was wearing red or something.
Right.
Didn't have freckles count.
That's beautiful.
No, so luckily she had a red. That must have clashed with her a bit.
Yeah.
A red scarf on her face.
And the highlights in your hair that catch the light.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful lyric.
Never seen you looking so lovely as did it. The thing is, right, he misses a rhyme there. He goes, I'm going to ask you to dance, looking for a little romance. Now he could have said dance, couldn't he?
I met a man once in a bar. I was talking to him for some reason. I was annoyed by him. I was wound up by him. And I said that I'd written Lady in Red, and I never got any money for it, because I found out he was like a music lawyer. And he went, well, give me a call, I'll investigate that. And he was actually going to do it for me. I love the idea of that.
Why did you say that?
Really bored, and I didn't like him much, and I thought that was that
Why
might
did
be
you choose
entertaining.
Lady in Red though?
Because I think I was singing it with a friend of mine, and he came over and went, oh, good voice. And I went, yeah, I wrote this.
What pub is this?
It was North.
Is it?
Yeah. Never seen looking so lovely as you did tonight. So, anyway, that's enough of my Christopher anecdotes.
Yeah.
It's very much the end of the show.
And it is. It's been a great show.
Hang on, have I got time for a song for the lovers, or have I missed that?
No.
If you give it me
Of course
now.
you have. Yeah, what are you going to play? What are you going to play?
What, are you going to play a song now and then we've got time for it afterwards?
No, you'll have to give it me
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I better dig it out. Well, can
What,
you keep people
what
entertained?
have you chosen? I'll keep it going.
Well, a friend of mine who keeps making me little compilations has stuck on an old Tom Waits track, which is from his first album, one that I've not listened to for a while.
Brilliant.
I re-listened to it. It's absolute dynamite.
Brilliant.
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah.
Just wandering around.
Yeah. He's just getting out of his bag now because we weren't prepared for this. We sort of ran out of time. We're having such a great time with the philosophy of Karl.
What do you fancy doing anyway with your future?
Me?
You know, I'm just going to tell you now. You know we're still on air, don't you? Before it gets too casual, you know we are still broadcasting to the capital. Okay. Yeah. What do you fancy doing with your future?
Well,
Steve?
once I've made all that money from suing Christopher,
Yeah.
no, my future. I'm living my future, man. I wanted to have some good mates like yourself and Ricky.
Yeah.
You know, Karl, I wanted to be on the radio.
We're
I wanted to play great
we're,
songs.
We're like the Three Musketeers, me, you, and Steve. We're like the original Rat Pack. We're like Ocean's 11. I'm Sinatra.
Yeah.
You're Sammy Davis Jr. and you're what's his name? D. Martin, aren't you?
Yeah, or Joey Lawrence. What's his name? Joey Lawrence, not Joey Lawrence. Joey Bishop.
Joey Deacon.
Joey Deacon.
My dad said the ending on the old one's better than the new one.
We should definitely get your dad in, man. That would be just dynamite. When people get tired of you, we've got the whole Pilkington family to choose
The
from.
whole gene pool.
Have you seen it?
No. Karl, have we got time for this now, really, mate? To be fair. Okay, it's track number 1. Now, interesting thing
This
about
is
Tom
shoddy.
Waits is that this is from his first album, and he doesn't sound like that kind of gruff, lived-in guy that he wants to
He
be.
didn't
actually sounds
smoke.
something of a crooner.
Yeah.
But this is a track called Old 55, which bizarrely I think might be covered by the Eagles. But anyway, so I think it's really a lovely track, really beautiful track.
I'll see you next week.
And we'll see you next time.
Say goodbye, Carl.
Yeah.
Say sorry.
What?
If you offended anyone.
I didn't. So if I say sorry, that's saying I'm guilty.
07 distractions. Very nice. Yes, I approve of that, Carl. Good choice there. Now, Steve.
Yeah.
Karl came round to my flat. It was Tuesday night, wasn't it? Now, thanks. Now, last week after the show, I think you guys were in the time you were in the toilet. Right, Karl got out the lottery ticket he bought. He went, "I'm feeling really confident tonight." He's going. I laughed. He went, "No, seriously." He said, "Look at the numbers." And I looked at him. I think they were 4, 6, 20, 46, 48, weren't they? He's like, "I just got a feeling about those. I'm not sure." He went, "Although, my girlfriend said that, if I won the lottery, we'd probably split up because we like such different things. Meaning, she likes to travel and he doesn't." And so he said, so what I said was, "Well, if I win, then I won't tell you. I'll just treat you a little bit more." Brilliant.
That's brilliant logic.
That is great. Anyway.
I imagine you take care of it. Yeah, you're a good guy. How would you do it then? You just sneak little gifts in slowly over many years.
Yeah.
You don't think she'd rumble the fact that you don't work anymore and drive a Lamborghini?
Well, I'd still do this.
What, just like as a kind of beard, as a cover story? So you'd pretend to come to work, but maybe off partying and stuff in the daytime. Clever.
Now,
You didn't. Okay.
I phoned him up today, like, he went one number. One number. I think it was 8, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It
well,
was-
there was a lot of 8s on my
Anyway, he was disappointed. He said, waste of time. I went, well, he said, no, waste of time. He said, I've worked it out. I went, go on. He went, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. I went, yeah. He went, think how many words you can make out of them. He went, there are 48 numbers in the lottery. I went, yeah, 60 million to 1. He went, yeah. Not
And
worth it.
I looked into that in a week, right? And there's even less letters in the Welsh alphabet. They've only got 20, and yet they've got loads of words as well. So even 20, the chances, if there was 20 numbers and you had to pick 6 ones, it'd still be really,
Unlikely.
Yeah, you should be a mathematician. And anyway, so we got talking about it. Me, him, and Jane around there. And I told Jane, it said about, oh, if you want a lottery, he doesn't like travel. And so, why do you like travelling? And he went, well, I don't like planes. I'm really scared of planes and that. He said, well, if you won the lottery, you could have a world cruise. And he went, no. She went, no, if I said, I went, no. He said, you go on a world cruise, what do you do next year?
Oh,
Genius.
it's brilliant logic, Karl.
It's
But you know, on the world cruise, you don't actually see the whole world. I mean, you.
And if you did, it's not like saying, well, I don't want to see that twice.
It
know what I
is
mean?
the world.
It is the world. It's a lot. It's a lot to see. And he was,
Did it never dawn on you before about the numbers and the lottery? Have you been playing this for years and thinking that you had a good chance? That it was just like you and a handful of other people that were doing it?
just as much chance as everyone else, but then when you actually sit down and think about
Sure.
what you're doing,
He's done it again this week. He went off doing it one more time, and he showed me the numbers, and he went, they look a bit more healthy, don't they?
What numbers are you going for this week?
it's alright laughing, but
Go on then. You know, people, if people do this and they win, you take these out and people do these, you'll have to share it with someone. It's alright though, isn't it? Give them a chance. Tell them what. Give people a clue. What numbers are you doing, Karl?
no, I'm not going to tell them all. I'll give you 4. I've got 5, 9, 12, and 26.
Okay.
You're not going to give us the other two?
That's a big difference, isn't it?
What are the?
4's worth about 8 grand, but they're giving me the 2 wins.
Yeah. What are those 4 numbers again?
5, 9, 12, 26.
Also, coming up is Karl's GCSE results. He took them in 1988, I think. And we've phoned his score, we tracked him down. We've got Karl's GCSE. What did I say?
How many did you get, Rick?
Clinic, walking with thee. Sorry about that earlier. You know, I like to keep a tight, slick ship, and that lets us all down, doesn't it? When something goes wrong with the shoddy equipment in this place. Why don't you buy some new stuff? You must be earning a bit of money now, mustn't you? We've got a few listeners now. We get adverts, don't we? Why don't they just buy a new CD player? You can go down to Richer Sounds and get one for 50 quid.
I don't know. Because I suppose when you're starting off, you save the money you make first before you spend it.
Go down to Record and Tape Exchange, take all the 4 non-blondes and excess stuff you've got.
And the record label.
You'll be able to get an old CD player.
25 minutes.
What?
The 4 non-blondes obligatory mention.
I think we should make that some sort of call in to win feature.
Karl, are we using the equipment that you used to use when you had Pilkey's Making Music, the DJ outfit that you
I
and your mate
love
ran?
that. That was Karl Pilkington and someone making. Colin Making. Pilkey's Making Music.
Genius. Are
That's
we using
right.
that same equipment?
Did you earn any money?
I paid for the tube lights.
Did you?
And then
Pay
gave
tax
up.
on it. It is, yeah. That's
Yeah.
right. Don't worry about the music policy. We're sorting that out. We've got some Verve coming up. We got some Jimmy Webb. We got some Nick Cave. We got some Amy Mann. We got some Travis Corner Shop. You know what I mean? We're sorting
Some
ourselves
big names
out.
there.
We
Some
just
big
start.
names.
We haven't started yet. We're just starting getting going. We got Karl's GCSE result.
Let's just do it now.
We do it now?
Well, I think we should have a white brown man section.
Oh, white
I
man.
think people tune into the white brown man.
Yeah,
section.
people who haven't tuned in, they don't know.
If people aren't familiar with this, the Sun runs a column every day which is asking some punter from the street their views on the week's big events, and we just thought, why not hijack that idea but apply it to Karl Pilkington. Karl,
I've seen much news again this week.
you've not seen much news. Don't worry, I'm sure you have an opinion on it.
Just
anyway.
give us it from your heart.
Gladiator.
Okay, so, well, on the subject of Gladiator, what do you make of Russell Crowe's appalling behaviour at the BAFTAs?
This is, I heard a bit about this. This is when he got some director or something, because...
Director or producer and threatened them because they cut his bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they cut a poem that he'd done during the acceptance speech.
I watched it on Sunday night. I didn't realise it wasn't live, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I quite liked the way it was to the point and didn't mess about. It went up, it said thanks.
So you're saying that he shouldn't have beaten up the director? Is that what you're basically saying?
It's a bit over the top.
You thought so?
I mean, if you didn't have time, if you really, I mean, what's the poem got to do with the film anyway? He was an awards.
So do you think it's ever justified to beat up a TV director if you're a major Hollywood star?
Depends what he's done, but I mean...
Right, what would you have to have done, Karl, for it to be fine for him to then beat him up?
The thing is, right, forget all the beating up. At the end of the day, it was an awards thing for a film. The poem had nothing to do with the film.
Yeah.
It was to go collect your awards for the film. And if he really, really wanted people to hear about this poem, he could have photocopied it and
Sure.
left it at the entrance and said, on your way out, this is a really nice poem.
No, but the thing is, he knew it was televised, so he knew by saying that poem once, he was reaching 5 billion people. That's a lot of photocopies. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying it was justified.
It wasn't a poem award. If it was an award show for poems, you'd say you can't cut it out. It'd be like doing the top 40 and then going, number one's but we haven't got time for it. But it's a films thing.
Okay.
And he went up and he got the award for the film. Which film was it for?
I don't know, but when I wanted to give you results, I said let's give Karl his results. Steve went, no, we should introduce people to Karl again, just remind people what Karl's like. And he's so right. I'm so glad we did this first.
I'm alright though.
Carry on, Steve.
Okay, the next topic. What about this big debate over whether Kylie Minogue's had a bum job?
I have to see it.
Next.
Okay. What do you make of Will Young's single? He's the Pop Idol winner. It's going to net record-breaking sales, apparently. It's going to go straight to number 1. He's had millions of songs.
I heard last week that you had to, if you wanted to buy it from Woolworths, you had to go in.
What do you make of it, though? Do you think,
As a song,
as both as a song, and are you excited about Will Young and his future?
it'll do alright. I don't think we have to worry about him.
Okay.
It would do alright. It's not my thing, but seems like a nice bloke.
Okay,
Good.
jolly good. What do you
final
make?
one?
Yeah, one final one then. What do you make of our scientists getting the go-ahead to clone embryos for research? We have discussed cloning before, and obviously there's the pros and cons of that. Christopher Reeve, former Superman star, he's behind this. Are you behind him?
Yeah. I mean, with everything, you have your good and your bad, don't you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, if you didn't have bad things in the world, then you wouldn't enjoy the good things. I think, it's like if you didn't have robbers in the world, policemen wouldn't have a job. So it's the same thing. It's like, it's an illness. Yeah. So what are we messing with?
It's probably a bit too detailed to go into there, really. But
Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
It's good and bad. You can't have it all.
yin and yang is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, Karl, I can't argue with that, mate.
I want to play a track now that I haven't heard for a while. It's the verb, isn't it? The song. The song.
Coming soon, those big exam results.
Black Rebel Motorcycle Club, spread your love. It's time to give Karl... You're actually nervous, aren't you? I'm a little bit nervous. Just to recap, Karl is 30 this year. He never went to get his results of his GCSEs. So myself and Steve took upon ourselves to phone his school, track them down, and we actually got your results. What did you think you took?
Good English,
Right?
maths,
Yeah.
art, nearly physics.
Well, you didn't do any of them.
Eh?
You didn't do any of them. You didn't register. You registered for one exam and took one exam and got results for one exam. So I don't know what you thought you were turning up to, or you weren't registered, or you didn't.
You're familiar with the notion of registering for an exam. You have to kind of officially register in order to be eligible.
What do you mean, register? Turned up?
Yeah, you can't just show up. You have to register.
You have to be paid because it costs the school money, so they have actually paid for you if they thought you were going to pass. You can't just turn up on the day and ask for some paper at the front.
I never got around to doing that.
Well, that's because you were never at school.
But you did somehow register or registered for one exam. You registered for history.
It's a topic that you've always been interested in.
Oh, I was saying to Ricky before, World War II, I loved it.
Not the actual event,
No,
the
but
study
just
of it.
all the stuff like, about the Anderson shelters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The bombs and that. And then when I took it, it had nothing to do with that. It was more about the Tudors.
So the Second World War didn't come up? You mean there was no questions about the Anderson shelters?
Nothing.
That's devastating.
So
So what are you expecting the result to be?
is that seriously? Is that it?
Yeah, it's the only one you took and registered.
As far as the school is concerned, or
yeah.
certainly in
Well, it's the
terms
only
of
one
what
that
they told
counts. It's the only result. It's the only one that counts. Yeah, you've got.
I don't. Did you register for yours?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got certificates and everything.
So what? Do you do that before the exam? Do you have to go somewhere and sign something, or?
Yeah, you don't check your results and then decide if you want to register. It's not like Millionaire when you look at the question and go, I think I'll take the money.
No.
But anyway, you must have registered for one, or maybe your teacher put it in.
I didn't do it.
They must have been
Someone else
confident.
registered
They
for
must
me.
have been confident. They must have thought your best bet was history.
Right. So what did we get?
You got an E, which I think, technically, is a pass.
E.
It's a bad pass, but there's F. And there's
You're not going to be doing a PhD.
you can get an F, right, which is fail, and then a U, which is ungraded. Now, I don't know why the U exists, because F means you fail. U is like them going, you not only failed, but you wasted my time.
So
We're annoyed
Yeah,
that you took
yeah.
this exam.
so you thought they'd register me to get an E?
Well, they didn't.
Well, they
think
didn't.
you'd
I
get
think
any.
they were hoping. It was rather like you with the lottery. They were
You
hoping
see-
for something better than
You
nothing.
see, I assumed that the man who registered for that thought he can scrape an E if Anderson shout was come up.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. You've got. Now, what I'd like to do, Karl, is I've started your education. You've read a book on Rasputin. I'll be asking you a few questions about that later. I've got another book for you to read next week. Next week, I've got a
I'm
little.
not in the mood.
What?
Not in the mood.
Oh, come on. Look. What's that? What's that say?
That fella, the picture of the bloke that he's going to use for Citizen Smith.
Yeah. Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was quite happy, I think, when he found out that Robert Lindsay was involved. He went, yeah, of course you can. No worries, yeah.
What
So-
are your feelings, Carl? What
do you think? Are you
emotions
depressed?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm sure I turned up for more, so it just wasted my time.
Listen, they don't matter.
I'm sure I
You're
did
doing
more
you're
than
doing
one.
very well. You know you can educate yourself. GCSEs are merely a stepping ladder to help you, not just your education, but they're more vocational than anything else. You're doing very well, and you're reading books. Don't worry about it. But
It's not
can I
a
suggest
concern.
something? But if you want, I'll pay for you to take history again.
Carl, we'd love to see you get a C or above. And
Right,
we're
I'll
willing
pay
to.
for you, and I'll get you some books. Right, now listen. We can let's get. I reckon. When's the exams? June.
Something like that, yeah.
We're registered. We'll try and register next week, and I reckon you can get an A or B
In
I'm
history.
busy.
in history. No, don't worry about it. It's just easy. You get your Brody's notes. If Heat magazine, they love you, Karl. They could probably sort something out. They could probably pay for a tutor. They got a lot of money. They sell a lot of magazines.
I mean, it is always, almost always, and you found out, I discovered this, it's always the Tudors and Stuarts. There's no fear for that, them not coming up. Now, what do you already know about them? You must already know stuff about Henry VIII in England.
No, it's too long ago to even get interested in. Do you know what I mean? You can't
Is that why you
relate
didn't-
to it.
Okay.
The Anderson thing, it was like, oh, what your mum and dad were in an Anderson shelter. This is interesting.
What when they?
Oh, my granddad would have had something to do with this. But the Tudors, it's like, I don't know even if they had a family back then.
Play a record. We come back
Hang
to
on,
this.
hang
Sorry,
on, hang on.
Steve,
Because
sorry.
I need to introduce the new feature.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a family back then.
Carl, listen, let me just ask you now, right? If you can finish this sentence, we've got a chance. Divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded.
Died. What is it?
We just need to do a little bit of work, but otherwise I think you're going to be fine. It's how you remember what happened to Henry VIII's wives.
They're little...
Divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded.
It's like spam. Support... What's it? Support, protection, anchorage, movement. That's how
You're
you
going to
remember
that's nothing to do with the
what-
Tudor
No,
Stuart.
nothing to do with the skeleton.
Yeah, see, no, we're not doing biology.
Mnemonics and acronyms.
What
and
what happened to Henry VIII's last wife? Did she die or did she not die? Divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded.
Do you know that the only king that has got a moustache is... No. The only king that hasn't got a moustache is the King of Hearts on the playing cards.
What's the record you play?
I want to resurrect the career of a different artist each week. This is an artist who's overlooked by the general public. This is Amy Mann, and she always seems to get overlooked. This was a single a while back.
Well,
I
I've
think
got
it's
one
called
eye.
Red Vines. Play it, Carl.
Fantastic.
See, what upsets me is the way that Amy Mann,
Yeah.
she's written songs as good as that, she's
Yeah.
released it as a single, she had to, I think, put the album from which that's taken out by herself over the internet. She was Oscar nominated
Yeah.
for songs in the film Magnolia. She couldn't get a record label, I don't know if she's now got one. And yet there's people like Alanis Morissette shifting
That is
shed
absolutely
loads of songs.
beautiful.
I don't
That is
understand what the
fantastic.
rules are. I don't know why
See,
she's not a household
Carl,
name.
well, there's
What-
beautiful things like that in the world. Why do you care about epoxy,
Well, what did
GCSE?
she get for history?
What did she get for history? I think she did very poorly.
Why do you care? See, I was just going to say, this backfired a little bit because Carl is genuinely, I don't know if he's actually upset or embarrassed, but it doesn't matter. Why does it matter? You were 15 and didn't go to school.
If you were my friends, I think we would have just said everything.
Why?
But
It
you'd have
doesn't
wanted
matter,
to
though.
know.
What's to do with that?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's ridiculous. Do it again because you want to learn. Because there's great things in the world to learn about. Don't worry. The GCSE is vocational. It is it's vocationally for a 15, 16-year-old to go on to do A levels or whatever. But you don't need that because you've done very well. You don't care about the Tudor and the Stuarts. I mean, you know.
I mean, I've had a couple of jobs, not this one, because you don't need qualifications to get a job.
Obviously.
In the radio.
It's obviously.
Absolutely
But
right.
the ones that I have got in the past, I did because I didn't collect them, I had to learn. And I didn't like go mad. I didn't say I had A's and stuff. But I think, I didn't put history down, so I didn't even know I did it. But, like,
So it's a bonus.
I kind of treated myself to like a D and a couple of C's and that, so it's like, well, it's not.
I love the fact that Karl even then was honourable. It's like, I'll at least put down the ones I think I took and lie, but the ones I didn't take, I won't lie about.
Yeah, and don't give yourself a B. If
Exactly.
they're going to find out you lied, give yourself a B
No, well,
next
it
time,
could
Carl.
backfire, couldn't it? I mean, my brother's a bit mental, and he used to do things like go for jobs and say, "Oh yeah, I've done this before," like being a mechanic, and he's never even picked up the spanner, and yet he'd have the confidence to go and try and fix cars. Well, I'm not that daft, but God, and
Who do you blame for this?
that's just an easy way out. I have to blame myself.
Yeah.
What was the
Well-
teacher like?
Well, there's loads of different ones. I didn't like. I mean, the history teacher, it is my own fault because with her, she's a bit mental, and I used to kind of stop the lesson by saying, "Oh, miss, tell us about your fireplace you've got that is made from gravestone." Because that's what
That
she
would
had.
stop any English teacher in their
No, 'cause
tracks.
and she loved telling you about it. So
Yeah,
it was like, oh,
I learned
brilliant.
that from a
So
teacher.
that's why I didn't know about divorce, head loss, and all that.
Dandruff legs. Horse head loss, dandruff legs.
But remember now, divorce, beheaded, died. Divorce, beheaded, survived. That's all you got to remember.
And what's that?
That's what happened to Henry VIII's various
In order.
wives. In order.
What does it spell out?
No, it doesn't spell out.
Doesn't spell
no,
anything, you just
it's
gotta
saying
remember
it.
the rhythm.
In order in which he married.
Yeah, but else, it's like when my mum taught me the alphabet. She taught me as like a song. And like Constance. Yeah, Constance. No, not like that. That's how everyone else would do it. I couldn't do it that way.
What
That
tune did she do
A,
it?
B, C, D. It was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z.
Andy Warhol's Get Off on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais. With me, Steve Merchant.
Hello.
It's 2:05 on the day that Karl, our producer, found out that he had an E in history, GCSE, and nothing else because he didn't actually register. I can't believe he registered for that. I don't know. Someone else put you in. They can't have put you in because you were away. They probably said, "Oh, you know, you didn't register in that." Listen, obviously you're feeling a little bit melancholy because it's like you're hearing it for the first time, so it's like you're 16 again. But it was to be expected. But
No,
listen,
I
it doesn't
say
matter.
that.
It actually doesn't matter.
Doesn't.
But listen, take it again. Take it again. Is there a history teacher listening? What's the number? 08700 800 123. They can tell us the syllabus this year. What's that before, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, what is it?
Oh,
I've got maths. 08700 800 1234. Mine's more laziness that I couldn't well say that last digit.
Yeah.
Really, I've done most of the work.
Rick, let's not. If we get onto your problems, then we're going to be. It's a whole other show.
It doesn't matter really, because like you say, I've done all that. So
Yeah.
it's that whole thing of like, when you get older, you find out that it's all comes out. It's like, it doesn't matter, he's a bad thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Are you saying Mr. Nuttall wasn't a real teacher?
Give out the number again, Rick. What we after?
08700 800 1234. Is
No
there a
one's gonna
history
want to
teacher
say.
out there that may know how we can? Is he too late to register at this time?
What's
Do we
the
have to pay
syllabus
for
this
it?
year?
What's the syllabus this year? Do we have to pay for it? And does he want to earn like 25 quid cash in hand to give Karl a couple of lessons? Ask about that. Take it.
you probably won't enjoy it though.
You'd film it. It'd be a documentary on choice. Heatman would be right behind us. There'd be, little clues. We could have a little question and answer, little quizzes. You know what I mean?
Rick, before we play the next record, I'm just looking for the XFM gig guide, and I just want to let you know that at Sticks, not Gut Bucket. So, no, just a lot of people listeners will probably want to know that. So I don't want anyone to miss out on the Gut Bucket gig at Sticks, like, on the street.
That's a good plug for the Gut Bucket boys.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage.
Now, Steve just played one of the most beautiful records. I mean, so I've got up the ante here, and I'm going to play another Jimmy Webb track. I played it off Pennies and Pieces last week, and I have played this track before, but a different version. You'll know it, obviously better by Glenn Campbell. He wrote a lot of songs for Glenn Campbell, and this is Galveston, and this is absolutely beautiful. Jimmy Webb there, and Galveston. See, and during that, Karl said, what's this about? Things are interesting, you see. Going back into the sort of Stephen Stewart, you'd have a clear view. They're the worst, aren't they? Stewart, I've got a lot of time for the Tudors, you know what I mean? Listen, right. As you know, I lent Karl part of this education, historical education. I lent Karl Gladiator, the movie, and Rasputin. Now, right, okay, it's the film review. Karl, you just said it from the heart, said what you thought about the film, what you thought the...
Can I just ask, is this the first time you've seen Gladiator? You don't see it before? Okay. What were your thoughts?
Okay. Good film review.
It's alright. Nothing great. Like an old version of Rocket in an old
Right.
I've got a well-known episode. Do you reckon people know this place?
Well, just the quick review I've got.
The guy called
Maximus,
Caesar and the Caesar's Club, and Max goes to war, sort of wins it, comes back. Caesar says, you're good at what you do, and I wish my son was as good as you, so I want you to be in charge when I die. His kid finds out, a bit annoyed about it, kills his dad, because he doesn't want anyone to hear that he said that, he wants him to be in charge. So his kid gets in charge and thinks, I'll show you. You're not going to be king I am. You're going to be a slave or something. And then next thing you see is
Sorry, can I just stop there? My only thought is the film's 3 hours long, so maybe we shouldn't go through the whole plot.
We've done the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Go on. So yeah, he's a slave and then...
Yeah, but then, that was an interesting bit that I thought. I mean, I was watching this with the girlfriend, and she was already annoyed because she watched it friends and then
Okay. It was a good episode as well, this week.
was it?
Yeah.
I'll tell her that.
Okay.
Right, so she was annoyed and she said, come on then, put it on. And I got it wrong straight away because it says on the back 149, so I thought that's 1 hour and 49 minutes. It turns out it was 149 minutes. So I thought it was 1 hour 49.
Yeah.
It was 149 minutes.
Sure.
So it overran anyway.
By 40 minutes.
So anyway, the interesting bit was where he was going to the desert on a horse. And I think to show you how long he's been going to the desert, he's showing you a shot of the horse's knees and the boots. And I just wondered whether that's what horses do if they run.
I don't. But
Right, so anyway, so it goes on, it keeps going on like this. The slave, and then the other fight at the end with Steve's kid, and kills him.
okay, good. What did you think of it? Generally, what do you think was wrong with it?
Right, well I've read up on it, and there's already... Steve's kid, he didn't actually kill his dad, his dad died of a natural death.
In real life.
Yeah. And what's Steve's kid's name?
I think it's comedian. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where the name comes from. When you, funny person is called a comedian.
He didn't actually get killed in real life by that.
No.
He died by his sister poisoning him, and
Are you saying that this is not a historical document?
it's wrong.
All over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
in terms of
next week, when you Braveheart, and that is actually true. That is factually accurate. It is. It was a little Australian fella that helped him out.
Just for people who watched it, the guy, Caesar's kid,
Yeah.
he died. His sister tried to poison him, that didn't work. And his boyfriend, who was arrested, strangled him.
where did you get this information?
On the internet. I thought I'd look it up to see how much of it I actually got right.
Yes.
And that's what I read.
Okay, so out of 10,
Fine.
really? Okay. Record, and after that I'm going to ask you about Rasputin, the mad monk. Travis and Sing. I like that. It's all right. It's a bit easy. It's not their best, like their early stuff a little bit, anyway. But what I don't like is them throwing around monsters. I don't like it when it's thrown around. I know it's dead. There's a certain lack of respect for the squid and fraternity.
I used to go to Wales on holidays. I used to get washed up on the beach and people used to go over me and they were cheering and stuff. You realise it was all.
Yeah.
Sick.
But anyway, Gladiator, if you know that, I remember that. If you're into that sort of thing, Jason the Argonauts is probably the better.
Is that factually accurate?
Did you look that up or not? Did skeletons actually come out of the ground and fight?
Yeah.
I don't know, but some more enjoyable film.
Okay.
Okay.
Shorter.
Okay, now just moving quickly on to the last item on Karl's re-education this week. Rasputin, you've read a little book about Rasputin.
What did you know about Rasputin before you read the book, Karl?
Could I just tell you, when I handed him this book, to my house. He went, "Ah, is he the one that lived under the bridge?" And I went, "What do you mean?" He went, "The fellow lived under the bridge, and he had to pass him with a, and Jane went, "You're thinking of Rapunzel." And he went, "Yeah," and I went, "Well, that's not Rapunzel either. Rapunzel, you have to say, isn't it? You know, you have to get
The person who lives under the bridge with the troll and the two little bricks.
I'm a troll, foldy well. So, to answer your question, Steve, that's what he knew about Rasputin. Okay?
So have you read this whole book? Can I just have a look at it?
This whole book, it's about the size of a beer mat.
Yeah. But did you read the whole thing?
No.
You did manage to read the whole
even
thing.
do that.
Well, again, some of the names in there are so long and foreign sounding that I just thought, I can't remember all these. So I just got to the meat of the story.
Go on,
Okay,
and
what did
is
you
it?
learn about Rasputin?
Right. He was a monk.
Yep.
And
Mad? Was he a mad man?
hang on a minute.
Don't think so.
Sorry. Go on.
See, this is what happened in Right, it was.
Oh, don't do that when I'm drinking, Karl.
was-
Please, mate.
He loved his women. And that's how the story started off. He had really nice.
Story started. Yeah.
He had really nice eyes, and that's what everyone fell for, especially the women.
Yeah.
Anyway, the people back then thought he had special powers because he could hypnotise people or something.
Oh, yeah.
And it was about a little lad who had some sort of blood flow in his leg. And he said, "Just calm down, and you'll be alright." People thought he had special powers, but what he was doing was saying, "Calm down and relax," and it stopped the blood flowing as fast. And that's how he got that. But anyway, that's the only bit of special work that did. And then he kept going on, and he was going into acting and all that. And the people in the town said, "This is right, this is about doing this." And
Where did he live?
Russia.
What sort of era?
I thought you'd might know. Oh, right.
And then
Do you want to check that, Steve? You got the book?
people
Well, I
got
know
sick
for a
of
fact that's
him.
not right.
People got sick of him, and they said, "Oh, we'll have to get rid of him." So they tried to. He loved cakes as well as women.
Okay.
So they said, "Let's poison the cake," and they poisoned a load of
Easier than
cakes.
poisoning a woman, isn't it?
And he ate these cakes, and it just didn't kill him. And they were like, "God, what's going on?" And they kept giving him more and more cakes, and
He was suspicious.
that didn't work. So the fella said, "That's it, I'm going to shoot him." So,
Well, I imagine it was the end of his tether.
so
I mean, he was back and forth to Mr. Kipling's.
he shot him once, and that didn't work. And the fella thought, "Oh my God!" And he started running away, and Rasputin was running after him, and he shoots him like another. I think he took 4
Face full
bullets.
of Battenberg.
Four bullets.
Did
It
you
took
swear then?
4 bullets. It took to kill him, and then this fella who was after him chucked him in an icy lake, and that was the end of him. But I don't understand, sort of.
What don't you understand, Karl?
Well, the fact that, he's a bit of a name in history, and I don't understand why, because it just sounds a bit like my brother.
Does he love women and cakes? And do you think that'll be his downfall?
Right, I want you to study. Right, if you want to do, that's the first introduction. Right, if you want to do some extracurricular
What would that get
stuff,
me?
there's a song by Boney M that
Yeah,
lays it out.
Suzanne told me about that, saying about Russia's greatest love machine.
Yeah.
But it didn't say anything about cakes.
No,
I think if you get the 12-inch mix,
no, but they
explore that.
say according to Boney M, and I don't know who's correct, the bloke who wrote that or M. They put some poison into his wine. Now I don't know if M have done their research or whether they did shoot him until he was dead. According to them, he was the greatest love machine in Russia. I don't think it says that in the book, but M might know more than that fella.
So what's your final verdict on Rasputin?
Just a normal bloke who didn't have that much luck, really. That's what I don't understand. I was waiting for something special at the end, but just a normal fellow, really.
Yeah, just an everyday. Happens all the time, doesn't it?
Just an everyday mad monk.
Yeah, just an everyday mad monk. You have to shoot and poison and throw in icy lakes to kill him, and who loves women and cakes. I mean, come on, do we need another one of them?
Boring.
So what would you say about him then? How would you sum him up?
I think you've done it.
I think you've done it.
So next week, Che Guevara, you going to read the book?
I don't know.
Come
Yeah,
on.
Next week, Che Guevara. Take it home. There he is.
Give it a then.
luck.
Cheers.
Richard X. Sugar babes are freaks. Electric. Are they, Karl?
You know, I feel like feels like Christmas Day.
What, you didn't get the gift you wanted?
Yeah, do you know that like anticlimax?
Yeah.
When
You've been looking forward to it for so long.
yeah, you know,
Well, I mean, I knew you were looking forward to it. That's why it took you 14 years to get the result, and then it was 2 other people that got them for you.
Do you
So
wish that we hadn't done it?
no, it's all right.
It's alright, isn't it?
What's your girlfriend going to say?
I don't think I'll see her again.
She likes a man who knows about the Tudors and Stuarts, does she?
Yeah, first Gladiator, then the...
Yeah, you've been bluffing. Whenever she said, "Where's it go to Stuarts?" You go, "Good." Like
Yeah.
lots of things, but look, it's a bird.
What happened to Henry VIII's last wife?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, Friends is on
Friends
telly.
is on.
No,
Yeah.
I just changed the subject by saying things like, you know, about the only king in a pack of cards.
That threw off the scent.
That threw us off the scent.
That wouldn't fool an invigilator, would it? That's the thing. You can't use that one with an exam board.
Karl, have you ever logged on to Friends Reunited? It was the site that everyone was talking about last year.
No,
Are you aware of the concept?
I've heard about it, but there's no one from school who would want to
Hook
see
up with.
again, really.
So basically, for those that don't know, you have to log on to his website, and then you can it helps you track down your old schoolmates if they've also logged on and stuff. And we took the liberty, really, of looking on the Friends Reunited site and typing in your school and trying to track down any of your old mates. We didn't get in touch with any of them, don't worry.
We didn't do that.
We're not going to surprise you with them now.
No.
But I was just interested to know, like, some of your thoughts on some of the names that I could run past you. I mean, these are people from your year. Just tell me if you recognise the names. Alison Birch?
I think I remember.
What do you thought? What do you thought?
Don't
Don't be libelous.
Don't be like no.
Posh, I probably did pretty well in history and that.
Sarah Morris?
Oh, yeah. And,
Go on. You're grinning. What's the thought? Go on.
no, just, she was alright. She was a popular one.
What does that mean?
She was nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, what about Darren Buckley?
He was one of the best mates.
Was he really? Seriously?
Yeah.
What do you reckon he's doing now? Do you still keep in touch?
When my mum and dad were still in Manchester and had a butcher shop, he used to go in because the bookies was next door.
I love the way you paint a picture.
He used to,
If you did this in your history exam, Karl, you will walk it.
Go on. So your parents had a butty shop. There was a bookies next door.
yeah, and he liked having a bit of a gamble, so he used to, I think he worked for some insurance company.
Do you think that his fiancée Beth knows he's got a gambling problem?
Yeah.
Or that his 2-year-old son Lewis?
No!
Yeah, they live in Cheadle Home.
Hume.
Cheadle Hume.
He must be doing well.
He's still supporting the Blue Army and frequents the shrine on a fortnightly basis.
Funny thing with him is, right, when I used to stay over at his house, and his dad was a copper, and I remember his dad came down and said, right, I want to see you two. And got down the table, and he said, do you know much about books? So we were like, he goes, you know, you're not good for anyone, you know. Stupid thing to get into, and we're like, yeah, you know. And he went, you know, do you? I said, yeah. He said, what's this then? And he found something in his bedroom, and it was a skipper.
What the sweet?
You know, little sweets with the S on it.
Oh, really?
Drugs.
Yeah.
So he said, well, yeah, little. Yeah, I know what it is.
Oh, he was bluffing like that. It's a slang word.
Yeah, he thought because he was a copper, he probably had to be down with all the terms and that. So we said, oh, it's a skipper. And he said, yeah, I know what it is, but what's it doing in your bedroom?
Oh.
And it was like, no, it's a toffee. So, no, Darren,
Yeah, I know. It's a toffee. It's a squib. It's a. Yeah.
Carl, more people from your past. Debbie Carr?
yeah, she was another nice one.
What does that mean? Is that a euphemism?
No, she was one of them that you'd sort of go, she's nice, but she'd never be your girl. Do you know what I mean? She was,
Not really.
even though she was in the same year, she seemed a lot older.
Right.
And
Wasn't a teacher, was it?
There was 3 of them who all hung together, and we seemed to hang around like the older kids, the ones who looked like now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What did you look like then?
Well, it's just that I had beautiful sort of looks, whereas like the older ones had like beards and stuff.
It's the gang of boys in the fifth form with beards. Were they smoking pipes? Come over here, me filly. Oi, oi, Debbie Carr, come over here, you little beauty.
She was like,
I love that. Hanging around with beards. There's the big boys. Oh, fishing. Lovely beards. What do you
I
mean?
just see a whole row of George Bernard Shaws. Brilliant.
How do you do in history, boy? Think on E. You're an idiot. Oh.
they were like, you know, I'd be there sort of playing, punching people in the arm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a great game.
Oh, I love that, punch people in the arm.
Is that part of the Olympics now?
it's, I think it was exhibition this year.
Right.
But it's
going to be a pro next
it's going to be the Winter Olympics because you've got to do it in just a cap sleeve shirt
Sure.
in winter. Yeah.
So you're also playing that?
She, but whilst I
But
was
she didn't
doing
appreciate that. She used to go, ow!
No, I always think whilst I was doing that, they were like the Charlie's Angels and they'd be sorting out a mission somewhere. Because they were really like, there was something about them that you thought, you know, yeah, they're special.
They were private detectives.
What if it worked for a man they never see?
Okay, here's a name I'm interested in because, well, let me just tell you the name first. Adam Clifton. Oh. Go on, what are your thoughts on Clifton?
He was one of them kids, he was alright. He had that thing when, if he didn't have enough milk, he had like wrinkly hands and like white bits in his nails.
Oh!
Because you didn't have enough milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, you didn't like him because you didn't get enough milk.
This is not to be confused with the two people with the big heads and the webbed feet, is it?
Well, this what's
I
interesting.
know that they weren't related. They must have been somewhere along the evolutionary sort of trail. Do you know what I mean? They must have come from the same sort of stock.
But
you wasn't right. It's just one of them people. He was alright.
well, before you say any more, on Friends United, you can leave a little message which explains what you've been doing and what you said, your life's like now. And most people leave maybe 2 paragraphs. Adam, I've printed it off. He seems to have printed. I think there's about 6 pages here of stuff. He keeps updating it, and he just basically lists his memories about everyone. Okay, at school and what he thinks of everyone. And he's just, I often see Simon, he's doing alright for himself, self-employed illustrator, Mark Cooper, Karl Pilkington, right, and your name comes up. Now, I don't know if you've told us this story, I think you may have done, but I can't remember the facts about it. It just says, Karl Pilkington, with his pet bird, was it a magpie? I can't remember. He brought it to school to show everyone, and it flew away.